I know tonight is gonna be a good time with you right by my side. I don't know how I ever did it before you were into my life. We have a fight sometimes, and that's just fine. But we've been looking for this for a really long time. So for tonight, let's just dance, little weekend romance. Cause you're too beautiful just in that dress. And I've been broken and I've been fooled. I've been so lost I didn't know what to do. I'm so glad to have you. You pull me out of the blue. I just wanna dance with you. Oh, I don't care if people stare. Cause all my life, all I needed was a row of flowers in her hair. Flowers in her hair. Honey, you look so amazing, and everyone is up and dancing. For a minute we were just kids in love. Now look at us, just all grown up. It took a while for me to find that ring. It took me a while to save up for that thing, but in the end, I see that smile, you're so lit up like our first date. We had so much fun, we danced all night. And all this time I should have looked for a girl with flowers in her hair. I've been broken, I've been fooled, I've been lost, I didn't know what to do. I'm so glad to have you. You pull me out of the blue. I just wanna dance with you. I don't care if people stare. Cause all my life I think I needed a girl with flowers in her hair. Oh, with flowers in her hair. A girl with flowers in her hair. Flowers in her hair. You love the daisies, you love the lilies, you love flowers in your hair. Not into roses, but you love sunflowers, you love flowers in your hair. I've been cheated, I've been down to the point I'd even look around. I've been broken, I've been fooled, I've been so lost, didn't know what to do. So tonight, I just wanna dance with you. Oh, I don't care if people stare. Well, I think I needed a girl with flowers in her hair. Oh, I think I found the one. I think I found it now. With flowers in her hair. So I just wanna dance with you. Oh, is all my life. I think I needed was a grow of flowers in her hair. Lost in this moment here with you. The way you look in this room, we go round and around and around and around our heads. We can go and we go and we go till someone says, honey, I want you forever. You're the best thing, you're my treasure. No matter what we're doing, there's no pressure. You make it so much better weather. Oh, we go round and around and around and around our heads. And we go and we go and we go till someone says, let the stars just shine on through. Try to light up this still moon. Kill the stars with your perfume as we stare up at the moon. When we stand up, we're dazed. Love like this doesn't fade. You tell me to stay, make it just another better day. I will run, I will run, I will run to you. It feels like I might fall through. I know if I fall, you'll catch me. Surrender my heart into the deep sea. If I have a trouble, I know that you will understand me. Let the stars just shine on through. Try to light up this still moon. Kill the stars with your perfume as we gaze up at the let the stars just shine on through. Just light up this still moon. Hear the stars with your perfume as we go right to the moon. Let the light bounce off the walls as we lie here on the floor, higher than we were before. Drunk on love like it's alcohol. Drunk on love like it's alcohol. Ooh. Drunk on love like it's alcohol. Ooh. Drunk on love like it's alcohol. Ooh. Drunk on love like it's alcohol. Yeah.
All right. You know what time it is. Let's get into it, shall we? No, not that. This. Bababoosh. Bababoosh. Friends, it's good to be back and chilling with you. It's a beautiful day. It's a beautiful Wednesday. We're going to be doing a nice, fun podcast. To be honest, today's video is sponsored by nobody, because compared to YouTube, I'm a nobody. But I can't use that. I can't do it, but it's too late because we're going live. But my name's Lou. I'm gonna be doing just some fun stuff today. I had some really cool stories I want to talk about. Mother's Day just happened. Summer is just right around the corner every day, and on the East Coast it's getting more beautiful and beautiful out. And here I am wearing a sweatshirt inside because I'm an introvert and I like to be indoors. Happy Mother's Day. It was a beautiful Mother's Day. It was fantastic. I hope all the moms out there, got their days of luxury. And I saw a lot of moms being very smart and using their kids to do all the yard work outside, which was, I remember doing that back in the old days when it was Mom's Day. Oh, that's what the first thing she'd do. She'd wake up. She'd be like, we're doing all the labor that I wanted to do today. Like everything that needed to be done for the yard work is happening today. So I feel that on a spiritual level. I've learned that I've said that a lot recently. I feel that on a spiritual level. Some people don't understand what that means, and it's just kind of like when you relate to something, it's kind of like you relate to it on a spiritual level. This weekend was a lot of fun. I ended up spending my Mother's Day playing music at a restaurant called Tumble Down Cafe, and I got to play beautiful, just kind of like Ray LaMontagne, kind of Jack Johnson, John Mayer stuff, and stuff that, I felt, moms wanted to hear. A lot of it had mom in it. Like one of the songs I did was My Mama Told Me There'll Be Days Like This by Van Morrison. Really good one. Daughter by Jack Johnson, or Daughter by Pearl Jam. Whatever suits your fancy. So there was a lot of songs that I was playing that I try to gear towards. That's what I love to do, is I like to try to give my sets themes nowadays. When I first started playing, I used to try to just play as many songs as I could. And when you're first starting out, that's what you're going to be doing. You're going to be playing any song you possibly can to make you better, any genre, any style, whether it's jazz or pop or whatever. And that's what I was doing. I always used to do that. And now I think it's more challenging for me and more fun to make set lists that are themed. But I'm going to be quite frank with you guys. Most of the times for me, I never use my set list. It's kind of like a guideline. Like if you ever see me in my shows, I have a tablet in front of me. And that tablet usually just has like the songs that I'm going to play next. And I'll look at that and be like, yep, that's the next song I need to do. And it's also really useful because I gauge the crowd. I always gauge the crowd. That's always what I'm trying to do. Whether there's someone that likes Jack Johnson, I'll play you Jack Johnson. Or you want to hear the Doors, I'll play the Doors. Rolling Stones, I got the Rolling Stones. It's all that. Lou is all about just keeping you on your feet and on your toes. There's always something different. I'm always going to play every genre. But enough about that stuff. Guys, I found a new addiction, and it's bad. And it's horribly bad. I think last time I was talking about how I went like in my old storage unit from when I was a child. And my parents have a storage unit that they're trying to clean out. And boy, they had a lot of my childhood memory just kind of stashed away. And I just picked at it like it was like I was just taking everything, and I was taking for myself. And this is one of the things that I took. This is my old Nintendo DS from when I was a kid. And I talked about how I got this when I was a kid. So go watch that podcast if you're curious. I'm just going to talk about some things that I've recently done, and I'm getting really into it. Who remembers the old Pokemon games, man? Who remembers the old Pokemon games? Come on now. Like, first of all, this is the original Pokemon Emerald that I had as a kid. This makes me happy. I see this and I'm like, that's my childhood. If you want to know more about this, go watch that podcast from last week. I've already been playing the shit out of this. I'm already on like the last gym. It's hard as hell. It's so good. It's so fun. It's great for me because like if I'm ever like just chilling, like when Christina gets home and we're just kind of chilling on the couch, she'll be like doing her nails, or she'll be doing, I don't know, just like girl stuff. And this is what I'm doing. I'm playing my Pokemon, and I just got these two today. I was super, super excited because I was kind of bummed out because games nowadays for vintage games are expensive. They're not like over the top expensive, but I'm not going to spend $40 on, or no, it was $80. It was $80 for Pokemon Sapphire or no, Diamond and Pearl. I think it was like close to $60-$70, and I was like, yeah, I don't want to spend that kind of money on a game because that's absurdity. But I was doing research, and I'm like, I love to save money and I don't like to spend all my money, especially on like games, because it's a hobby of mine. It's not like my career. So I found these games on Amazon, and they're the same game, Pokemon. They're just not by the legit people. Like I to be honest, when I'm looking at this one compared to this one, okay, there's a few differences actually. There's a few differences. So the only difference is that like they're, oh, actually, wait a minute. You can just tell there's like the Pokemon company is moved. And then anyway, point being is that I got these for $15. I got these for $15 on Amazon, and they showed up today, and I'm so excited. This is Sapphire version. This is the Ruby version. I love the Sapphire version, and I'm super excited to play it. Comment below if you guys have any of like your old childhood games that you just love. I had Nintendo. I had the PS1. You know what I had that it actually trips me out because no one had this. I don't know if I was like spoiled or something like that. I don't think of myself being spoiled, but one thing I had growing up that no other kid had was the portable PlayStation 1. They were a thing. They were a freaking thing. And what it was it was like a gray PlayStation, just like a little box, okay? If you remember your PlayStation 1s, there was just like a gray box, like rectangle, I don't know, thin, right? But on the top of it, it had a circular thing. And when you open that it looked like a disc tray, like you could pop it open, but when you opened it, it was actually like a little 10-inch screen. It was literally like this big, this tiny. And it was colored, wasn't the greatest quality ever, but you could play Tomb Raider on it. Who remembers Tomb Raider? You know, not the Angelina Jolie shit I'm talking before. I mean, she did blow it up though. She did blow up. I would say that she is Tomb Raider. I mean, I know they made new ones now, but I don't really I don't know. I don't really keep up to date with those kind of things now. But I hope you guys are having a good day so far. I'm just trying to see if there's any comments, and of course there's really not much. I just like to check because yeah. You know, it's sad because I was telling myself, I'm like, I'm not really going to be doing many storytime podcasts eventually. So I don't know if I talked about this in an earlier podcast, but what my goal is I want to get to 50 storytime podcasts. And at the end, I'd like to have a few guests maybe come on, kind of like a last hurrah. And after the 50 episodes, I'm pretty much going to, you know, cap the storytime podcast. Just because I think I could probably be doing, you know, cooler things. Like I really want to start doing Ableton tutorials. I don't know if I've talked about Ableton Live. I'm a nut with Ableton Live. I love it. These guys should be sponsoring me. I have the push board right here. I use Ableton Live 11. I have the suite. It's my baby. I use it to make all my music, and I constantly am making music. I'm going to be releasing a 30-song album, and I'm going to probably be making another 15 song albums this year, all from scratch off the top of my dome. I write music every day, as much as possible. You never stop writing. If you're a singer-songwriter or a musician and you want to write music, the only way to get better is if you write constantly. You got to keep writing constantly write. And the more you write, you'll learn the way the form works, the way the radio works, the way this works. Because it's hard. If I could, you know, I wasn't going to make this today topic about songwriting, but maybe I should do that. Maybe make it a nice topic about songwriting, because I don't consider myself a fantastic songwriter, but people do tell me that I write good, catchy hooks. And I don't know how I do it. I don't. That's why it's kind of hard for me to talk about. But if I were to talk about it in a nutshell of ways that make me a better songwriter, That's tough, man. It's tough. You definitely want to find your motive. I think that's what I always do. Before I write a song, I always think, if I am going to be writing a song, what am I feeling? What do I want to express? How do I want to express it? Okay? That's your option one. Okay? After that, it just comes of experimentation. You know, have a couple of beers. Do a little puff or two of something and start writing music. I'm not saying do it, but like, do what you got to do to relax, to unwind, disconnect that part of your brain, and just start writing and just start making beats. Make whatever you got to do. Once you have that kind of structure and you have a sound in your head, especially if you're making a sad song, you're not going to be writing major chords. If you're going to be writing a catchy song, like it's like a bass heavy song, like kind of electronic, you already know right now you're not going to be needing too much chords. You just need one line, you know what I mean? Just kind of like jamming on a lead synth. So it makes it easier for you as a composer, is the way I look at it. And before I get into the instruments, that's actually going to tie me into my next kind of point, is that focus on one instrument. Okay, say if you're a guitarist, use a guitar. It would be absurd if you started using something else. That's if you've never written before. If you've been writing on the guitar numerous times, maybe it's time for you to switch it up. But when you're first kind of getting into it, you want to stick with your natural, what am I talking about? The instrument that you were taught with. And really just think about, if you're a bass player, use bass. If you're a piano player, start with the piano. For me, usually I use piano. I always go with piano, especially when I'm using Ableton, piano. It starts with a simple chord progression. I try to figure out the key. I always try to figure out the key. I look at the key. Say if I'm in the key of C, I have C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C. So I'm going to be working on those notes. And then the key of C, if you break it down, you have your Roman numerals, which if you don't know about music theory, I don't want to lose you too much, but pretty much a scale can be looked at. A scale is just a musical scale. So you have a piano. Let me just unplug this piano. All right. So you have a piano right here. All right. Now you have C. Okay. This is your C right here. Okay. Now when you go up, it's going to go C, D, E, F, G, A, B, back to C. Okay. Now you can look at it as letters. You can always look at it as letters, but it's going to be great for you to learn with letters. But honestly, I look at it as numbers. I hated math all my life, but recently I just look at things in numbers, and it just makes it easier. So instead of doing C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C, you do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, etc., etc. And once you start getting good with music theory and you understand it, you know where does a 2 go? How does a 2 go to the 6? How does a C go to an F? How does it go to the 5? How do I bring it back to 1? How do I do a key change? How do I do a major how do I go into a minor from a major or major to a minor? There's so many things that you're going to learn, and that's pretty much it. But if I'm going to keep it basic, do a 1-4-5. Just write a 1-4-5 chord progression. I've written so many 1-4-5s. Everyone writes 1-4-5s chord progressions. You'd be absurd to hate someone for writing a 1-4-5 chord progression. Everyone does it. Everyone does it. It's literally like you're trying to do what the people are doing, and you try to make it your own. Make it your own. Okay? Once you start making your own, you have fun with it, you just take it to another level. That's why that's why it's difficult for me to talk about these things, because it's challenging. It's not something that I know how to talk about with that sort of stuff. Comment below if you are a songwriter and you're trying to get better, but you don't even know how to get better. You don't even know where to look. Because I've been there. I know what that's like. And pretty much for me, if I were to give you advice on that, it's Google and YouTube are going to be your best advice, and books. I've talked about in an earlier podcast where I have all these music books that I look at, whether it's music theory or it's songwriting, anything like that, and you just have fun with it. You just have fun with it. There's going to be songs that sound like shit. There's going to be songs that are hits. There's going to be songs that are garbage. A lot of the times it's garbage. So you just got to keep going. If that didn't work, keep going. And a lot of the times that I don't see a lot of musicians do, and I don't get it, is that, I mean, like, when they play their original music, they don't look at the crowd. They don't look at the audience and see how they're reacting to it. That's the biggest thing that I'm trying to do. Because if I'm singing my song and in the hook, what I think is going to be good, no one freaking cares, that's how you know it's not a good hook. If it's not grabbing people, it's not working. So you got to fine tune your craft. It's all about fine tuning your craft. I started writing music when I was, holy shit, 12? Before I even started like actually even learning how to play an instrument, because I was already doing music and like theater and stuff like that. So I was already just writing songs all the time. And back then I called it poetry, which was, it's all right. I mean, it was pretty bad garbage, but you keep going, homie. That's the thing, you know, and that, you know, kind of going into a segue with it. I never understand, how some people just like, they don't, when you're self-employed and you do your own business, let's talk about this. 'Cause that's what you're going to be doing. If you're someone that, whether you're doing music or you're doing carpentry, you're doing this, you're doing that, whatever it is that you find is a hobby or something that you've did as a job that you want to start doing as your own, that's a leap, man. No one takes leaps like that. You should be taking that leap, because if you feel like you want to do it and you think that you could kind of make a good living off of it, go for it. You have your whole life to do what you want to do. I never understand why people are, you know, when someone tells you to do something, you do it. You know, it's kind of like, what do you want to do? At the end of the day, what do you want to do? Because that's what it's all about. Because you need to start taking advantage of that. Because if you don't, you're going to be 50 years old looking back and being like, damn, I wish I did this differently. I wish I did. And that's where I think a lot of people, you'll meet this when you're self-employed. They're not necessarily support. They're not supportive. They're more negative. And the reason why you're going to come across negative people is because they never get it. They don't get it. They like their box. They like the way that the sun hits their house. They like to wake up at 6 o'clock in the morning, go into their cubicle. There's people that like that. And that's good for you. You're going to be making a good income. You're going to have a 401k. You're going to have like the safety, the security. But I mean, there's more to life than that, you know? And that's where I've looked at life, and I've seen people that have worked their lives away and it never gets them anywhere. They're not happy. Why would you want that? That just, I think seeing that as a young kid was something that I looked at and I was like, why do people do this? And I think that's why I push to make music and to push my business and to excel it, because it's when you're so dedicated to something and you're so passionate about it, and it's not even, you don't look at it as work, like that is eventually going to be the most successful business. When you don't even realize it's work, that's a business. That's keep going for it. Do it. You know, even if someone tells you, you know, like something negative, F them. People will do anything to bring you down. I've learned that in my life. And sometimes it'll be your own family. And that's the worst part. When it's your own, like your own, who you thought supported you, and they don't even do. You know, you'll learn a lot in life being self-employed, being your own business, being your own boss. You'll see the real sides of people you've never seen before. It's kind of like, I'm going to explain it like this, and this is going to be the most outrageous kind of thing I could think about. But it's like if you just saw, because we talked about it, it's like you saw an alien. It's like you saw an alien, and and I know this is crazy. It's so absurd, but it's like that. It's like when you see something that's not supposed to exist, but you know it exists. So you keep pursuing it, but people look at you like you're crazy. That's what you're going to look at sometimes when you have your own business, and you just have to go for it. You can't stop. Because people, you got to realize that, you know, the generation before me, I'm a millennial. That's what people call me. I'm a millennial. The generation before me, they were hard workers. You know, they were born because their parents, like my grandparents were from the Great Depression era, or after it, or whatever, before, during, whatever. But they They stuffed money in mattresses, okay? That's just kind of like a little tidbit of how that generation was, I guess I should say. Well, then when that kind of generation looks at, the next one, they expect them to be hardworking. And now our parents expect us to be hardworking too, but we could be hardworking, but doing it a different way now. It's 2022. Times have changed. It's just the way the world works. And it's just crazy to me. I don't know. It's something I don't talk about often. I don't. But with coming up to the last story, Storytime podcast, this is stuff I do want to talk about because it's something I want to look back on and be like, that I agree with that. I definitely am glad I said that because I think it needs to be talked about more. I never hear people talking about what you want to do and how you should do it, and you should be able to do it. I never hear people talking about, I am self-employed and I took that risk, and they talk about the nitty-gritty. Sometimes other people want to hear about it. And that's just how we learn. Because how are you not going to learn if you never hear about, you only hear side A, but you never hear side B? You just need to hear both sides. And I feel like it's always kind of either people want to hear about the success or they don't want to hear nothing at all. But that's not the fun. The fun and success is when it's over. That's you're done. You just accomplished what you were trying to do. And when people finally see the success and that's when they're interested, waste of time, waste of breath, homie. You should have been there from day one, because that's the whole journey. Because the journey is the success. It's not the end goal. That is not the success. That's the end, and like, okay, it's over. I can do something different or keep going. It's important to talk about those things. It is. Comment below if you want to start your own business, and how, what have you learned about people that have maybe discouraged you from doing it, or it happens. It's the thing. Don't be discouraged. Keep doing what you want to do, homie. What am I turning into? Am I turning like a motivational speaker? God, oh my Lanta. But it's all about the risk. You got to do those risks. You got to stay to it. I don't know. I hope these videos get to someone that wants to do their own business, or someone that's a singer-songwriter and they want to take that risk. And it's different. It's different when you're told it's different when it's a whole different situation, I guess, if you're good at something, but you think you're good at something, but you're not. You know what I mean? Like, for example, like for music, I can only relate with this with music, is like, you see kids at a young age being told that they're a good singer when they're not. And they grow up thinking that they can do it when they can't. And maybe some of those kids, they do really push themselves. And they push themselves so hard that they do get there. And that happens. And it's a rarity. It's just like it's a rarity for someone with no money, no connections, no nothing like that to be famous. You're gonna get there. It's just gonna take you a lot longer to get there. Do you get what I'm saying? You can do it. It's just where do you see the finish line? And can you keep doing it consistently until you reach that finish line? That's what I should have said. That's what I should have said right there. That was a better way to word it. And when you're, but going back to when you think you're good, but in all reality you're shite. It's different than when you're good at something and people around you are telling you you're good at something. When that happens to you, whether you're a painter, a carpenter, you want to start your own Etsy store, you make soaps, whatever it may be, homie. When people are starting to see it and they're like, this needs to go somewhere. Like, this is like, what? Like, no, you need to make this a business. That's when you make it a business. I'm being dead ass honest. I see too many kids that they think that they're ready, and they take that leap and they're just in debt, or they're just, they're hurt, you know, there's something like that. And next thing you know, they're getting unemployment, or they're doing this, and they're going back to their day job, and they get super depressed, and people get wicked depressed. You know, I've been in that boat, but it was during COVID, because it was like the most detrimental thing to me, because I just left all these agencies to become my own boss. And right when everything was looking so good, I just proposed to my fiance. Things were looking oh so good. I was going to establish my business as like an like a small business. I was really going to do it. I was going to boost my, you know, really just take my thing up to the next level. And COVID happened. And when COVID happened, man, I was taking every odd job you could imagine, man. If you were self-employed during the COVID times, you're still getting hit to this day. It is not over with. That is the thing I'm realizing. It is not over with, but you got hit. And the weirdest part for me was I really thought it was over. I really thought my music career was over. Like, I was like, holy shit, time to put in the towel. Like, I sold equipment. I was selling stuff. I was depressed. I was super sad. I wasn't myself. I was angry. I was literally a monster. And I was just a monster myself, because I just wasn't my true self. And you know, when things started picking up again, and I looked at my fiance, and what I'm going to tell you guys is when you start your business and you take this leap, this is the talk you're going to have, because the reason why people don't want to take a leap is because they're afraid to let someone down. You're afraid to let someone down, whether it's your parents or your friends or your loved one, your significant other. You're afraid to let them down. And that, for me, I was afraid to let my fiance down, especially after I just proposed to her and all this stuff just happened with me. I was afraid to take that leap again because I didn't want it to crumble. And I was working every job I possibly could. I was working like 40 hours a week, and I was getting up at 8 o'clock in the morning to like coming home till like 6 at night. And I do whatever I could. And I barely got by, man. I barely got by. I remember I took one job that was like a door knocking. Like I was going door to door, which COVID times, I was so desperate. I was wearing a mask in the middle of December down in Massachusetts doing god dang door knocking, and it was the worst situation of my life. I mean, not only did I destroy my car doing it, because I did, but I mean, it was just I learned a lot, but it was the worst experience ever. If you've ever been door knocking, holy shit. It is like, props to you. Props. Like, that's hard work. Now when someone knocks on my door, I am not mad. I'm not mean. I used to be. I'm not gonna lie. I remember this vacuum guy, this kid that was a vacuum kid, came knocking on my apartment door and was trying to sell me a vacuum. This was years ago. And I'm like, dude, I'm like shutting the door in his face. I'm like, dude. And I just shut it off. I just shut the door. But I feel bad for those kids, because you got to realize that if you see a kid that's knocking on your door, they're self-employed. They're not getting paid to knock on your door. They're getting paid by commission. So they go weeks without getting paid. Okay? And they go knocking and knocking to make clients and to truly help. I was doing it for a solar company, and it was a good solar company. It actually was a very nice solar company. It was too good to be true. That was the problem. It was too good to be true to people. It was giving away free solar. If I knocked on your door for this company, I could have given you a whole free solar company system, like solar system, dirt cheap, brand spanking new. You got like Tesla batteries from Tesla, like Elon Musk shit, all free of charge. Your electricity gets lowered substantially. Everyone's going solar right now. If you're not going solar, that's a whole different can of worms, my friend. But it's an amazing thing. That's why I wanted to work for the company. I really genuinely liked it, but it was just holy shit. I don't know if it was the area I was in, but like, God, oh my God, I did not last that long. And then I was like a nanny at one point. I was like that nanny for like this family. Never would do it again, because I'm just not. It's kind of like caregiving, and I'm just not really. I'm an introvert, man. I can be in my room all by myself with a god dang Nintendo DS and be completely fine. It's just the way I am. And then there was a time I was a carpenter, and I loved doing that job. That was so much fun. That was the best job I ever took. The boss was awesome. The workers were super freaking awesome. I would laugh every day. It was just, you learn stuff. I was working with my hands. It was great work. And I actually thought I was going to start doing it forever, because I was like, screw music. This isn't an awesome job. It's kind of like self-employed, but it's like work people genuinely care about. That, you know, and again, that's when I was kind of depressed with the whole music thing. So I really did, you know, I just thought, you know, no one cared and stuff like that. It was music was dead. It's not going to be a thing anymore. No one's going to go out to live music. It was a disaster. So, I mean, there was a point in my head, I was like, I'm going to be a carpenter. I'm going to be like Bob the Builder. And that was fine and dandy, but, you know, end of the season, I live on the East Coast, so when it's winter time, there's not really any work for carpentry or anything like that. The work kind of freezes up, you know, things like that. So, I mean, you just gotta, you know, go on to the next job. I did restaurants. I've always done restaurants, though. Restaurants are fun. If you never worked in a restaurant, I strongly recommend working in a restaurant. It's just fun. You learn a lot, so much. You just learn so much about the restaurant industry, about the business. It's fun. I always liked it. But yeah, when I took odd jobs recently for restaurants, it'd always be dish boy, because I don't want to be dealing with people. I don't want to have to be doing that. I do that so much with my business that I'm like, I'd rather just come to here and then just like clean dishes. I don't want to have to think too much about it. And that was great. It just kills me though, because I see all these businesses that are still hurting, and I'd love to help out, but now my business is actually starting to take off, and I'm like blessed. I'm super duper blessed about that. Yeah, I just been working really, really hard. So that's the thing, when you're doing your own business, there's no days off. I work day in and day out. I wake up at 8 o'clock in the morning and I go to bed at 1 o'clock, and all I'm doing is music. I don't do it as much when Christina's here. We actually have a time, like we set up a time to like no music. Like we can listen to it, we can play it on the radio, but there's no like talking about it. There's no, because like it's my life. That's why it's hard for me to connect with other musicians, because I really love music. Like I know I'm like a walking Wikipedia of like music. It's like my thing. It's like my blood. I don't know how to say it. It's like when you're really into something, like if you're really into gardening, you really love to garden. You know every plant species, you know how they need to grow, you know how to grow them, and how to just pollinate them and fruit them and all that stuff, and you could just talk nonstop about it. That's when you know. When you can talk nonstop about something and you never get sick of it, that's when you know. It's your calling. That's like, it's different from a passion. It's different from a hobby. That is your calling. Do not ignore your calling, homie, because your calling is what you're meant to be on this planet for. I've come to realize that. Like it's kind of like ignoring dinner. You know, like why would you ignore dinner? Just eat dinner. You're gonna get more energy and you're gonna feel good. And you can, or like eating lunch. I guess that's why would you skip lunch? Because then you can eat, you get more calories, you feed your brain, you have energy, and then you can go on for the rest of your day and not feel exerted. Eat lunch, homie. Like, do what you want to do. Don't, you see all these people that have these businesses and then eventually they just leave their businesses because they want to do what they want to do. I mean, look at Apple. Look at Elon. Look at Elon Musk. Look at all these people. These people, they did it themselves, or they did it with a team. And they started it and they went with it. Like I said, whether you're starting an Etsy store or something like that, it's not about it's about determination. Keep going, but I guess a good segue to get into this is there's the business side of it. And I've talked about this before my podcast. I know I have. There's two sides of your business. There's your calling, like your passion, like you get to do it. Like for me, it's making music. I love to make music. That's my thing. But you can't just make music. You're not going to get anywhere if you just make music. You have to market yourself. You have to understand the algorithms. You have to understand how the way things work. Like, I do this stuff on YouTube, and I'm not talking myself up like I'm, like the next biggest star. Like, none of these podcasts, they have 1 or 2 views. This is purely for my enjoyment. This is purely for me to get better at public speaking. This is me to get better at doing stand-up. It's me to getting better at doing these kind of things because I want to start doing more YouTube and vlogging, and slowly my YouTube is growing, and just by being determined, it's growing, and I love it. And it's not 500 or thousands and millions of subscribers. I'm at like 201 subscribers, but I started this channel with zero, and I've been doing everything slowly but surely, and now I'm on like every week I have a new video posted. So if you checked out last week, it was me reacting to Psy. I don't know if you guys know who that is, but Psy is a huge North Korean or South Korean or Korean pop star. It's kind of like a pit bull. It's kind of like a pit bull, but in Korean. And his beats and music is muy fuego. They're so fun and catchy, even though you barely understand any. If you don't speak a lick of that language, you don't know what's going on. But it's catchy. That's the thing about music with me. I don't need to understand what's going on. If it's catchy, I'm gonna dance. This is the way it is. If you just love something, it doesn't. There's no and if or buts or what's gonna make you not like it. But you got to look at the business side of it. You got to look at I was getting a little distracted, but you have to understand what's going on. A lot of people don't realize Facebook ads. Like, I spend $10-15 a week on Facebook ads. What that does is it pretty much is it's getting my post out there. It's getting my page out there. More people are seeing it, because I realize that once I ask all my friends and my family, it's up to you to get more people. It's more impressive to have fans that you've made on your own. They're not friends or family. They're just random people. That's more rewarding. And as someone that you are trying to start your business, that's what you want. You don't want your friends and family. You want them, but that's not what you want. You want to get people in the public. You want those people. Your family is going to buy your shit because they buy your shit. That's easy. You're almost like a con artist at that point if you're just selling your family and friends. Why don't you do you gotta take it the next step further then, and you gotta understand how do I get the people in the public? How do I do that? So you do your research, whether it's your, what's your target, who is watching your stuff or who's buying your stuff, where are they located, like in the general area, because that's where you want to be putting your ads in. If you're say if you're in the United States and you're really big in Florida, you want to be making sure your ads are hitting Florida. If you're sending your ads to Missouri, that's pointless. That is absurdity. You should not be doing that. You got to target your audience, and you got to be able to do that. That's what's going to make you a better business person. If you don't, you're doing it wrong. That's all I do. And it's weird. I think I was never like this. I will admit this. I was a very hippy-dippy musician. I smoked a lot of pot. I just loved to play music. That's what it did. I literally, all I do, I have my calendar right here. I have my desk right here. I sit here Monday through Friday, not just making music. I'm constantly emailing people. I have a list of restaurants that I email out to. And just by doing that, it gets me more business, because it snowballs. Even though they don't respond right away, I do it every day. 8 o'clock in the morning, that's the first thing I do. Email 30, 40 restaurants or venues. And I just keep doing it until one of them messages me back, And you learn how to word your emails. You learn how to do the most important thing in the world is when you're sending emails is it needs to be short and sweet, and it needs to have a good header. Like, it needs to be like you're going on the newspaper and you see something like an article and you're like, woo. Why did that jump out to you? Why did you feel connected to read that? It was because of the title. That title hooked you. So if you have a good title that hooks people, they're gonna read. But if you have a novel, they're not gonna read. They're gonna read like the first couple sentences, and then that's it. Steve Miller said to me, and not to me, Steve Miller once said, the way I write music is that I always try to capture people in the first 4 seconds of music. 4 seconds of music. Why? Because people are only going to listen to the first 4 seconds, and that's what's going to determine if they're interested or not interested. So if you take that and apply it to even business, you know what I mean? It's going to boost you. It's you know, if you're wording emails, you need to capture them in those first, I would say, first sentence. For that first sentence, you need to wow them. You need to be like so spot on that they want to keep reading. The way I do it is I have like a little paragraph, like maybe like 4 sentences, and then it's all my links. I talk a brief, I give you like a little brief thing of what I'm doing. I'm trying to look for more venues, and then I talk a little bit about myself, and then I just say, here's all my business links, you know, because they want to hear. You know, that's the thing that you got to be doing if you're a florist and you want to start your own floral like flower shop. I was just about to call it a florist shop. You could probably call it a florist shop, flower shop. You know, you got to realize, okay, what town do I want to start my business in? Whether it's from home or you want to do it out somewhere. You got to realize where would be a good spot for a flower shop. Is there many competitors going around me? If they are my competitors, what's something that I could do that's not taking from them, but is different? What do people like to buy in this town? Like if it's this town, do they like to buy sunflowers? Do they like to buy lilies? Do they like to buy this? Well, I have to, you know, you got to screw what you want to do. Do what the people want to do. Because you're not going to go far if you're doing what you want to do. If you want to do, like, say if you're a florist and you're like, I just want to do lilies. You're a one-trick pony. You're going to be able to do that business. I'm not saying you can't. You can do that business. You're just limiting yourself. You're very limiting yourself. Rather than if you could go out there and say, I'm going to do X numbers 1 through 10. I'm going to do those kind of flowers, or X, Y, and Z. Then you're going to be able to do more. Say if you're a florist and you want to, you know, you could do bouquets, you could do things for weddings, you could do baskets, you could do gifts, you could do this, you could do that. The more things that you are allowing yourself to do as a business, the more business you're going to have. And that's just the biggest trick of the trade. If you're a one-trick pony, you're a one-trick pony. If you're a musician that all you do is play jazz, you're only going to be playing jazz venues. And the only people that want to hire you are going to be interested in jazz. Not saying that that's, you can do that, it's just going to limit yourself. That's why when I started doing covers, because there's 2 reasons why I started looking at it as a business. I love music, but it's a business. It's 100% a business. If you don't think music is a business, comment below. I can give you any kind of point you want. I write invoices out. Who the needs an invoice for music? That's when you know it's a business. So, but like you gotta, there's two factors that made me realize it's a business. One is I worked for one company that I'm not gonna say the name for it, that I was 19 years old. It went down the drain. It was a shitstorm, like bad, like almost legal bad. Not fun. And it made me, and I almost stopped everything. Because of that, I was super scared because I was like, F this. I don't want nothing to do with it. I don't want nothing to do with companies. That's why I kind of went solo and started just doing it my own. But I met some fantastic people on the way, and it was so many hurdles, and it was like 4 years of hurdles and like so many bad stuff that it just, you know, there was times I just wanted to stop, you know, but I just kept going because I'm like, one day it's just going to fall in my lap and it's just all going to make sense. And this is all I do for my work. This is all I do for my business. I mean, when I was in college, I went to an open mic night. I met this booking manager, and I mean, the next day I got in 60, 70 gigs from this booking manager. It was like night and day, boom, boom, boom. And I'm in Tippity Top, Plymouth, New Hampshire. Okay. If you don't know that area, you don't know that area. But I'm in Tippity Top, New Hampshire, and this guy put me gigs in Hampton, Portsmouth, Newburyport, Massachusetts, you name it. I loved it. I didn't even care. I was like, oh my God, I was able to buy stuff for me for college. Like I was actually able to live for a bit and be comfortable because I wasn't a broke college kid anymore. But then it just came to the point where I was like, I'm missing classes. I wasn't getting home until 4 o'clock in the morning. I would skip my classes. It was just like, whoa. It was getting exerting. And I mean, Plymouth to Portsmouth, that's like a 2-hour drive, 2.5-hour drive. And gas wasn't as expensive as it is now. So it was a different situation. So I didn't really care too much about gas or the mileage on my car. But yeah, so I would do it, and eventually I did it for probably 4 to 5 months going to school and doing it. And I was going to school for performing. I was trying to learn how to perform and how to book myself. And I was just getting into sophomore year when this had happened, I believe. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure it was sophomore year. And I did that booking in school for 4 months, and then I ended up leaving school because I was like, honestly, I don't need it because I'm already working with it. I already talked to the booking manager, and I remember talking to the booking manager being like, hey, I think I want to leave school and just do this full time because it's exactly what I want to do for school, and I think I just want to do it. And he was like, I think you should too. Like, I have so much more work for you. This is great because then I can just keep giving you work and you can do what you want to do. And I remember him saying, and it saves you a lot of money in the long run because college is expensive. So that's what I did. I left school. Like, I remember the next day I left, and that's a whole different story within itself because that was like borderline, like with me and the school I was going to, at least my advisor, it was like harassment. It was bad. So I don't really like to talk about it, but it has been multiple years and I've grown past that shit. So I don't care. But at the time, I mean, even with the housing people, there was like things going on with the housing. And I remember my doctor almost took him to court because it was getting bad. And the school was just not happy about me just doing what I wanted to do. And I did it. I left school and I started just booking myself constantly. And the best part is it gave me so much more time to book myself, not just with this company, but with myself. So I was doing open mics. I was going out, promoting myself. I got business cards, which I have business cards like in my desk. I was going to show you them, like the first ones I ever made. If you have an original Lou business card, oh my Lanta, it's the ugliest thing in the world. It's hideous. It's like, first of all, it says singer, I think it says singer, songwriter, and entrepreneur, and a master of time and space. Oh my God, it was the dumbest shit. I was just like, because I thought I was hippie. I was like, oh, I'm the master of time and space, man. Like, because music theory, you're hopping between time and spaces. But it just flew over people's head. And I've gone through like 10 different business cards since then because I make it more design, like more easy for people to read. And now what I'm realizing is that no matter what, people don't understand Lou. They see Lou and they'll always still look at me and be like, so what's your name? It doesn't say on the business card, it just says Lou. And I'm like, and my name is Lou. Oh, okay. What's the Lou for? Love and unity. I had that on one of my cards for a little bit, but it took up too much space, and I just was like, I'll just tell it to people. But when you do your business, if I could give you one word of advice about name, make it different, but not too different. Make it different, but not too different. My too different, I mean, I love calling myself Lou. I love that because it's like kind of like a little story of mine that I have in college. It was a fun little thing. It was a little memory, so I'm connected with it. And I'm like, that would be a great little name. And I want to use it for like Lou Studio, like my album. When you buy my album, it says Lou Studio on it. So because eventually I want to make a little studio, and I want to do Lou booking. I want to eventually do my own bookings and help other musicians book. I want to help promote people. I want to help do this. I want to marketing. I love marketing, and it's just grown on me. So that the one way that I've So the whole message behind this is there's two reasons why I kind of started looking at music as a business. The first one was that company that I'm not going to get into anymore because it was a kind of a shit show. But he taught me a lot about business and how I didn't look at music as a business. And he did teach me a lot. And even though things went kind of sour, I'm blessed to have worked with that company because it pushed me to be a better business person. And the second one that completely smacked me out of the park with business was actually going door-to-door knocking. I'm not kidding with you. Even though I kind of shit on it a bit earlier about that environment, it taught me so much. It taught me like to go door knocking is the original form of business. It was literally like the way people did business, door-to-door salesman. And that's what a business is. It's just, you know what I mean? So you learn a lot. You gain confidence. You understand how to engage with people, how to read people, what do people want. I had to take so many courses to work for this company, and they taught you so well. They did teach you very, very well, but their locations were just not good. Yeah, they were just I mean, like, I remember I had a whole journal. Like, I had a journal like this, guys. I'm not even kidding you. I had a journal like this, and it was filled all of how to be a salesman. They taught you how to be a salesman. And there was this one guy there. I'm not going to say his name because he's probably already on his fucking high horse. But he was amazing. He crushed it. I mean, he was like one of the teachers, and he would just kind of teach you ways to like go about business. And if you've never been door knocking, essentially what it is you have to have a pitch. You need to have a pitch to hook people in. And my pitch was never what everyone wanted. It was super chill. I mean, I'm a chill guy. I'm honest as hell. I'm not going to sit there and try to like call this shit out, talk numbers and do all that, because no one cares about numbers. I'm going to be like, I'm just going to be super chill. I just want to be your friend. I'm just like, I'm knocking on doors. I noticed that, you know, your lines are pretty rusty. I know your transformer. I don't know. Do you guys know about your transformer over there? Do you guys know about transformers? Well, the transformer is what's going to be bringing that power to your house. And if that goes out, then you're out of power, you know? And that's like, I'm just worried because it's super rusted out, you know? Have you guys had that checked on recently? And they'd be like, no. And I'm like, well, I'm just, you know, I'm just trying to, you know, I was walking by. I work for a solar company. I don't know if it's something you guys are interested in, but we are giving away like free solar to people. That's where it never worked for me. It never worked for me because I'm too honest. And it wasn't my job. It wasn't my job. My calling is to be a musician, is to do that. The thing I learned about being a salesman is that I can't sell a product that's not mine. I can't, because I don't know it as well as I do music. And when I do it with music, it's more natural for me. I don't feel like I'm selling anything. You know, I just feel like I'm just being myself, and people just genuinely like my music and genuinely like my personality. So they just gravitate towards that. So, but that's what helped me. Those two things, it was what helped me shape to understand that music was a business. And when I did this other one, when I was doing the door knocking, that was during COVID. So it was my job. That was my job for a couple months. And it taught me a lot. And I remember leaving it and looking at Christina and being like, I think I just want to go back to music. I think I want to go back to music, and I think I want to take that leap again. But I'm afraid. I'm afraid to let you down. I don't give a shit about anyone else. I just really care about you. Like, I don't want to let you down. And she was like, dude, you did it before. You should just do it. Like, just do it. Don't tell yourself you're going to get another job when it gets tough. Because I do that. When things get tough, I'm like, I need to get a job. I need to find a job. I need to get a job. I need to get a job. And don't just accept it. Keep going, and push yourself. And that's what she said to me. She's like, just push yourself and do good. And that's what I'm trying to say to you guys, is that I wake up at 8 o'clock in the morning. I go to bed at like 1 o'clock, and that's all I'm doing. I'm doing music. I have a couple of hours where I kind of like just chill out with Christina. We'll watch a movie. We've been watching some baller movies, guys. I don't know if you guys are into movies. Holy shit. So many good movies out right now. There is one called Nope. N-O-P-E. Nope. Nope. And it's an alien abduction movie-esque. It's not even out yet. I'm super, super excited about it. I love alien shit. It's scary. I don't know if you guys remember M. Night Shyamalan's Signs. The movie Signs. Come on, that guy knows how to direct, man. Guys, speaking of, I just watched another M. Night Shyamalan movie. No. M. Night Shyamalan did this other movie called Old. And if you guys don't know who M. Night Shyamalan is, he's the guy that did Sixth Sense. He did Signs. Old. And I don't know. He's done like a lot of good movies. Very good director. But this where was I going with this? Yeah, Nope. It's like Signs, but like boosted up. Go check it out. Just type in Nope on YouTube. We just watched this other one called Run. Run was, oh my god, and I'm pretty sure it's based on a true story. Don't quote me on that though. It's just about a mom that she loses. How do I say this without spoilers? Hold on. It's about a mom who's taking care of her daughter, and her daughter has a bunch of medical issues like asthma, rashes. She can't walk. Has heart palpitate, like weird heart rhythms, which I have that, and I was like, hey, I have that. Which I don't know if it was a good thing to be saying that in one of those movies. But anyway, she it's kind of like one of the stories where the mom like wakes her daughter up every morning with some pills and like, make sure you take your pills, and she's very restricted. Like the daughter can't really go out. Mom only lets you use a like computer for like an hour a day, but the daughter is like super smart, and she's getting old enough where she can go to college, and she's really looking forward. She's sent all these applications out to these colleges, right? You follow me? And she's waiting so desperately to get this one acceptance letter from this one school. So she's wheeling, every time the mail comes, she's wheeling to the door, and the mom comes in with the mail. She's like, honey, I told you, like, there's no letter today. You know, when you do get a letter, honey, don't you worry. We're gonna make sure we celebrate it. But there's something off with the mom. There's something off. I don't want to give too much away because there's a lot of good like turns, twists and turns. It's called Run. We watched it on Hulu. You can go check it out. I think Hulu is like $7 a month. They have a free trial. Go check it out. It's like such a good movie. The ending was like, whoa. I wasn't expecting that. The ending was super good. But yeah, we have a list right now. We have a list of all these movies that we want to watch, and it's like there's like 14 of them. So comment below if you guys have any like weird like movies you guys want to see. Not weird, just movies in general. It doesn't have to be weird. Let's see, what are we doing with time? I've been talking a lot about business and how to do that, how to excel your business. Wow, we're at 1 hour. Holy shite. We've been doing pretty good. Let's see. Yeah, doing pretty good. But anyway, guys, I'm gonna end it here. I hope you guys like this video. If you watch this video and you did like it, feel free to like, subscribe, comment. I'll try to be doing more of these videos. Again, I'm gonna be doing up to 50 episodes of Storytime Podcast, and then eventually I'm going to put a hat and say adieu and start doing other tutorials and stuff like that. So again, this is, I hope you guys enjoy it. It's fun to do these stuff. I have a few more stories to be talking with you guys, so I don't want to give too much away. What else are we going to do? I'm probably going to start talking about a little bit more business. I kind of liked today's video. I don't know about you. I kind of liked it. So I think I'm going to kind of brainstorm a little bit. Maybe there could be a business talk podcast. That'd be cool. Like questions and Q&A. I don't know if you've seen his videos, but anyway, I'm rambling. I'm going to go eat some food and do some more business and music stuff. You guys have a fantastic day. Enjoy the rest of the week. Let's see, where am I at this week? Tomorrow I'm going to be over at 110 Grill in Nashua. Nope, not Nashua, in Rochester. I'm going to be in Rochester, 110 Grill, and that's from 5 to 8. Then, hey guys, on this Friday, I'm actually going to be on a radio show. I'm super, super excited about it. You guys should definitely check it out. It's going to be at 6 o'clock, and it's on WMNH 95.3 FM. I just want to make sure I got that right. The last radio I was on, they told me the wrong number. I looked at it and I made a post and I made sure everyone could tune in. I'm driving over to the radio station. I tune in and it's a goddamn country station. I'm like, oh, good Lord. People think I'm going to be talking about my album on a country station. But no, you guys could check that out. The last radio station I was on, it actually did get videotaped, so you guys can go check that out on YouTube. Maybe I'll put the link in the description below. And this Friday, again, I'm going to be on another radio station, and that's going to be this Friday at 6 o'clock. On Saturday, I'm going to be at Stripe 9 Brewing Company from 6 to 9 p.m. And then I'm going to be going to Tumbledown Cafe on Sunday from 11 to 2. And guys, this is the last month I'm going to be at Tumbledown. Actually, believe it or not, on the 29th, which is a Sunday, I'm no longer going to be at Tumbledown. I'm starting a new venue, and it's going to be at Crazy Cat Winery, who I'm super excited to be back. I played for them last year, and it was such a great time. And guys, you want to hang out with this. You do not want to miss this show on the 29th at Crazy Cat Winery, because I hear that there's going to be a drummer, and there's going to be a bongo player. There's going to be like a percussion. Lou's going to be having a little jam circle. It's going to be good times. There's going to be wine. There's going to be cats. There's going to... I think they do have one cat though. But they don't let it roam around or anything like that. But they have delicious wine, the best wines of New Hampshire. I'm not even shitting you. I don't like wine. Their wine is, by golly, the best. And that's going to be from 5 to 8 p.m. on the 29th. So if you guys want to see me at Tumbledown Cafe, this is the last month to be seeing me. It's going to be I love playing at Tumbledown Cafe. From farm to fork, they bring all their food from the farm, make everything fresh in front of you. The pizza's handmade, the pasta's handmade, the beef jerky's handmade. They have beef jerky. Yeah, it's really good. So anyway, enough rambling. Much love, guys. Take it easy.